a hot one out here today. It's in the 90s. Today is officially June 1st, and I thought we'd talk about the way I do summer squash. Actually, any kind of squash, but the difference between, there's two main types of squash. There's the summer squash, which is like your zucchinis, your crooked neck, yellow squash, things like that. And then you also have winter squash, which is your acorn squashes, your butternut squashes, pumpkins, things like that. So the difference between the two is summer squash never creates like a hardened shell around it. You pick it fresh and you eat it right away. With winter squash, you can lay it out in the sun for a little bit. It kind of creates a harder shell, and then it stores really well, and you can eat it all winter. So that's kind of the difference between them. Most people roast winter squash, make it into soups, or they eat it like roasted from, just cut up. With summer squash, there's lots of ways to cook it. You can shred it up and kind of fry it. You can cut it up and saute it in garlic and butter and stuff. Some people really love it. Some people don't love the texture. I tend to like it for the most part, but not always. But a lot of people do. And there's kind of a knack to growing it though, because there's a really nasty bug called the squash vine borer. No one likes that thing. What it does is it's a moth that flies around and it lays eggs on the vine. Most squash is a vining plant, if you didn't know that. Kind of trails. Doesn't always look like a vine. Sometimes it's more bushy, like a zucchini. And then sometimes it's like a pumpkin, where it's a real long vine and puts out pumpkins along the way. But one of the things that you can do is get some insect cloth, which is what you see on the ground over here. And that keeps the moth from getting to the plant. So what I do when I first seed, and I just put in some winter squash over here in that row. What you can do is just cover it before it starts to come up. Keeps the moth from getting to the plant while they're young and susceptible. And then you can let your plants get kind of big and strong. And then sometimes the plant is strong enough to withstand any bug pressure. So that's what I like to do. I take the cloth off. I took it off today because you see there's starting to get some flowers on it. The flowers need to be pollinated by other good bugs. So it's one of the ways you can do it organically without spraying and putting all kinds of nasty stuff on the food you want to eat. I use a little row cloth, get the zucchini started. These are all zucchini plants, two different varieties. I think it's Dunja and Trooper. I think those are the two varieties. And you can see I didn't even have anything pollinating them, but some wasps got in there somehow. I think there was a hole, and wasps are smarter than other bugs. But I actually have some zucchini growing on them already, even though they weren't really pollinated. There's one also right here. So sometimes you get lucky. I probably could have left this on longer if it was getting pollinated, but I think it was about time to take it off and let it go. It is a good idea, even if you do this. Eventually the vine borers or some other pest is probably going to kill your zucchini. So if you can keep planting in successions, then you'll have zucchini all summer. It could take the heat pretty well. So, but over here, I just got this row prepared. I tilt the top. I don't know if you know what a tilther is, but it's not a tiller. It just kind of, the first top couple inches uses a drill to spin these tines, and these tines kind of mix up my whenever I put fertilizers or anything on the bed. It mixes into the first couple inches of the soil without going too deep and killing the microorganisms in the soil. It's a really great tool. The other thing it does is you can see how nice and neat it flattens out the beds. Some people go around and they use either a rake to make it flat, or there's other machines like rollers that make it flat. I find with the tilther I don't really need to do that. I get pass down and then pass back. It mixes all my fertilizers in, and then it also kind of creates a nice flat surface. So, and then I went down and used the handy zipper tool. Use this end here to make the row. You just pull along the way, and then you turn it over and you close the row with that. Makes us older farmers a lot less work. So, and when it's 90 degrees, you need it.